Scorpios, my darlings, this is a reading for you. I'm connecting with a Scorpio who has really awakened. You're finally accepting who you are. If you're a man, you're tapping into your divine feminine, and this is probably the most important consciousness shift you've ever had in your fucking life. If you're a female, then damn, you're a boss bitch, and that is assured. So let's deep dive. I'm connecting with a Scorpio who was really disconnected from their heart chakra. Princess of Cups, the World, and the Queen of Cups. These are my chakra pre-shuffle cards. I'm looking at a really young, juvenile heart chakra. Your heart chakra, it makes me want to cry a little bit. Your heart chakra wouldn't grow. Your heart chakra wouldn't move beyond the paradigm you were in, the dimension you were in. It makes me want to cry a lot. Yeah? Because what I see clairvoyantly in this vision, I am indeed clairvoyant, intuitive reader. Hey guys, I'm the hermatologist. Tapping in with your energy today. I am clairsentient. I have a lot of gifts and abilities. I am also a shaman, and I have many channels doing many different things. Please go and check that out, okay? But for you specifically, my gorgeous Scorpios, I see a world that you've been in, right? No love in that reality. No love around you. It's been so hard. Do you know what? It's even harder because I see how loving you were. And I see from a really, really young age how much you had to give. And I feel like you gave your love really quite easily as well. Like you weren't someone to hold back in love, but your love was always quite young to give. So your divine feminine side was quite immature. Male or female, I feel like your divine masculine presence would come through. So to me, that suggests material wealth was more dominant. Your brain and intellect was always more dominant. Your beauty was more dominant. A lot of your characteristics present as more materialistic. And I would assume that people would love your positive, light, joyful spirit. And your money and your ego. Yeah, you could have like this kind of boss, goofy, funny ego. Not even so much goofy, but there's this powerful energy you exude, and you have this kind of wit or charm or laugh or like presence where it's just kind of cool, laid back. This could be an Aquarius cross-watching as well. I get Aquarius. Hey, if that's you popping back in, tap in. I feel your energy here as well. But it's nice because you were really, I say, showboating for a while. Stunting on others for a while. They see me rolling, they hating, is what I get in my head. Riding dirty. Yeah, you've been riding dirty back in the day. You were riding dirty back in the day, but the truth of the matter is now Acorn is in my head. Lonely, I'm so lonely. I have nobody for my own. Ooh. That's what I hear, yeah? A long time imprisoned, trapped in the heart chakra. Never enough love. Never enough love. You know what you need, right? I love readings when I get to go there with you. You know what you need, right? As an empath, you're giving me strong empathic energy, okay? So you're not gonna overexert yourself in a connection, because why? Why would you do that? You know the capacity of the connection and the relationship and where it can go. It sounds egoic, but I'm clearly connecting with a clairvoyant, high priestess, intuitive, hierophant, yeah? Male or female, you're really incredibly yin and yang. I'm looking at someone for a long time who knew their purpose, knew their power, knew their destiny, knew their light, knew what they were destined for. Someone out here riding dirty, but someone at the end of the day when they go home and they stop the rims from spinning, right? I'm connecting with someone who comes from the era of spinning necklaces. I've got rims spinning on a chain in my mind now. I've got those Snoop Dogg cars that are on hydraulics bouncing up and down like, yeah, big pimping, you know? That's what I get in my mind. So, and I'm getting the Dana E. Kane song really clearly, which is show-stopping, we show-stopping, show-stopping, we show-stopping, you know? That energy, Dana E. Kane era. If you don't know Danity Kane, I Can't Help You, that's Bad Boy Records back in the day, P. Diddy days. Let's not try and talk about P. Diddy over here, for goodness sake. Let's swerve the P. Diddy 50 Cent drama, but let's talk about that era, yeah? Because you were definitely up in the candy shop during that time of life, was you? Yeah. Hit like if you know you went to the candy shop several times over. Yeah, you came from the Lumidi era as well, I get. What is that song that I hate that everyone plays every time you go to the club? I can't hear it now because I've blacked it out of my brain because it's such an unbearable song. How does it go? It's absolutely eradicated from my brain. That's how much I hate that song. But if you know Lumidi, one hit wonder, that one song that is unbearable, that plays in every single club and was banging in the clubs in the noughties. That's what we're doing. We're down memory lane here. Because during that era of life, yeah, popular era of life as well, I want to dive into conversation about Jodie Marsh and Katie Price and Kate Moss and Amy Winehouse and the celebrities that were out at that time, and the life and the media and the propaganda. Jersey Shore comes to mind. Although I am quite young, in my opinion, I was going to say that, or I was quite young at the time in that era, I was out turning up, you know. The moment you hit 16, so whatever age you are, if you're were in your 20s at the time, if you were in your just over the age of 18 at the time, realistically, and you were legal to be out turning up, you were living in that era of vibrancy and life, dating, having fun, getting to know people, necking on, yeah? Necking on is what I want to say, right? So Spiral Squad from Jersey Shore as well, just getting absolutely blackout drunk and wasted, drugs, liquor, turning up, bitches, hoes, the party's lit energy. There was no time for a real loving connection in that, even though you had that to give, but that couldn't be presented, that couldn't be seen, that weren't coming forward. That was an impossible construct. Interesting now, because as we move forward, still got to shuffle the tarot, guys. The world's here. And the world is here with the Queen of Cups. So the present moment now is the world. You're closing out this cycle. Gorgeous energy, right? Because the wedding dress is here. I fucking adore it. Because now I'm connecting with a female who's finally getting that white wedding. That wedding dress, yeah? For a long time, this female here. Wow. I'm getting incredible vision. I've got a lot of visions in this reading, so I feel like I'm connecting with the clairvoyant. When my clairvoyance is activated highly in a reading, it suggests that the other person on the other end of the line is also clairvoyant. So tap in, hit light, resonate, you know? But I'm connecting with someone who is going back to an inner child state thanks to this love. Because the truth of the matter is, the youthfulness in this world card shows me you're closing out an old cycle and you've just got an absolute rebirth. An absolute rebirth. Whatever's coming, it makes me want to cry again, my goodness. Because you're going back 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You're going back to a past time in this lifetime where you are rejuvenated in this loving connection. I ain't even seen another person yet. I ain't even seen the person that you're really meant to be with yet, but I see what this love is doing to you. Do you know what it means to find yourself in love? Do you know what it means to actually find you in love follow? Yeah? At the end of the day, no one really gets the concept of self-love and why self-love is the best way. Because all you got to do is truly know you and work on you, and you'll track the right vibration. Trust that God's real. Trust that the divine's working in your favor. And someone's done this. Because you didn't just give your love to everyone. As much as you did freely love, you knew better than to go into anything that was just beneath your reciprocal vibration. So you never had a mirror, a reciprocal match. I hate the word mirror as well in that context, but do you get what I mean? Like, you can see what draws you in and what repels you. You can see when someone's mirroring you in a toxic way, and it's just, I'll do what you want and I'll be what you want. I've spoken about this previously in a water sign reading and maybe even in a Scorpio read. Check out your other Scorpio reads, because there's overlap here that I resonate with. Not only that, Scorpios, I am going to do, before the end of the year and the next run of readings, I'm doing a full year Scorpio reading. And we're going to go from January all the way until December 2026. We're deep diving. We're going ham on your reality, and we're going to do some alternative spreads that we don't normally do, pull out some really special decks and dive into the astrology of your reality and go month by month exactly what you need to know moving forward. It's an essential part of my journey, so I thought, fuck it, I'll share it with you lot. Yeah? So hit like, subscribe, stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments if you are excited about that, because you should be. Queen of Cups follows. Now, I'm intrigued to find out if this Queen of Cups is someone in your reality, male or female, or if that's you evolving. Because now I see you closing out a cycle and really becoming a stable Queen of Cups, but it makes me think, ooh, are you attracting this too? Because your vibration feels right. It feels like you're locking in with a higher level love. Remember, we've come from the Princess of Cups, yeah, Page of Cups. That was you in the noughties, you in the 80s, you in the 90s, you in the 60s, whatever it was. That was you at a younger period of space and time. You're getting your life back. You're getting your groove back. You get to start again. Someone gets to have the dream wedding. I hate saying stuff, so I'm so sorry I just done that. Because I was like, really, do I have to say that? It sounds so cheesy. I hate when tarot readings are cheesy and conformist and sell people up the fucking garden path. But I'm not doing that, I promise. Someone is getting the wedding of their dreams. You're going to be the bride you've always wanted to be, or you're getting the bride of your dreams. It's so magical. You could be getting married at a tree. Wow. Oh dear, this is emotional. I keep wanting to cry because I'm looking at a autumn wedding and I'm looking at snow everywhere. So I'm assuming it's artificial snow because to get the snow on the wedding day is practically impossible. But now I'm going into event planner mode. So let me pull the fuck back and not interfere with whether or not your snow is real or ordered. But the truth of the matter is I see an autumn wedding and I see snow and I see a beautiful bride and she's got this beautiful headpiece on and she looks really, really young. And you could have seen this bride in your mind when you were really young. You could have manifested this bride. It makes me really, really emotional again because as clairvoyants and gifted ones, and I said that when I first went in on your Page of Cups card, and the cup that you've always had of love, just waiting to give it to the right person. Sometimes we get visions of our destined other. As clairvoyants, you see the future. I just watched Charmed episode 2, season 2. Or maybe episode 3, season 3, one of the two. I think it's episode 2, season 2. And they just went into the future. Really interesting episode. And it just made me think about seeing your partner before you saw your partner. Yeah. I have also had experiences where I've had visions of my husband before I've met my husband. Right? Or before, whether or not that's going to be true or not, because I don't have a husband, but I have childhood memories from the age of 13 and another one at the age of around 21. The same vision of the same kind of person, silhouette, look, and me having a conversation about the kind of person that I was going to marry to two people in my family, to my mum and to my best friend, saying, well, obviously the man I'm going to marry is going to look like this and be this. And they would always kind of wind me up and be like, yeah, that's definitely who you're going to be with. And growing up, I dismissed it after probably the age of 21. But now I'm like, shit. How weird when you say things to your mum, or your mum says things to you, or your best friend says things to you, or you say things to your best friend and you go back and forth in those dialogues. That appears to be manifesting, or that appears to kind of manifest, or that's where I'm at in my mind now. That is what I desire, and that is my inner child. That is genuinely what I want. And it's crazy to think that I wanted that when I was 13, or I foresaw that when I was 13. And the visions I have now are aligned to the visions I had back then. And it is fascinating. And you can't hold on heavy to these ideologies and these visions, because clairvoyance can take you on a spin to the best and worst of places, but you can hold faith in what you see and use it as a directory, a guide, an index, the contents page of your future, you know. So hold that, because you've seen stuff, and they're not stuff to be devalued, and you chose not to dive deeply into love for a reason early on, because they weren't right, you know. And you've been denied a lot of beautiful opportunities because you knew they were shortcomings. They weren't ever going to last. And when I say shortcomings, and I'm sorry that I do this all the time, but I so do, it makes me think about sex and orgasm and being completely unfulfilled sexually. Till you get down the line and you get really mature, you understand what you do or don't like in life. And if you've had more of a life being more celibate and not really enjoying sex so much, and you question why you're not a freak like the others, it's because you have a different kind of love language, or what turns you on is different, you know? Like, I'm demisexual, I'm sapiosexual, so I need emotion and I need intellect. And And not even necessarily emotional intelligence. I need intelligence as one thing and emotion as another thing. And I find that incredibly sexy. And all my life, I haven't been around that. No one's really exuded that. Because actually, I've put myself in the position where I'm the mouthy power player in the room and no one else can even meet me in the mind space. Definitely not emotionally. Yeah? Getting someone more empathic and emotional than me that can meet me in the mind space. Not there. But why am I not seeking that? Because I'm too busy out here thinking I'm Katie Price. Do you get what I mean? That's Jordan. And for anyone else who needs to know, Kendra Wilkinson, Hugh Hefner, we can go there. Yeah, I went for a phase thinking I was a Playboy bunny. That's the truth. Didn't do anything with it other than just watch Playboy shows and walk around the school playground. Like, hey, everybody, yeah, I'm a Playboy bunny and I'm going to get my Lavore? What is it called? I don't know. The tracksuit with the Playboy writing on the back, the tramp stamp era is what I'm referring to. We have gone back because now we are spinning through the noughties and I can't help it. Let's do tarot. 16 minutes in and we haven't done the tarot. I'm going to fly through it. Okay, I can't fucking believe this. Right. First card out. 3 of Cups. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I like that energy because we're reminiscing. And the 3 cards we've already got out, 3, 3, 3, seeming highly significant here. Just saw 16, 14 on the clock. Another sign of unification. I think that was the last reading I'd done for you guys, where we dived into the 6 and the 4 and what that meant for me. And that spoke about divine union. That spoke about unification. That speaks about everything I stand for in relation to the 7D. It is the most important principle of all time for me. And that is confirmed in some white papers and philosophies that I really, really do actually stand on at this time. I will say Baron 64 as well is a really significant white paper, but that's a whole other conversation. I don't know why I need to pull on my intellect in the now moment for that, for you guys. No wonder we don't have fucking traction over here, eh? Anyway, 3 of Cups. Hit the like while I try and learn how to channel in a more mediocre fashion. Queen of Pentacles. Gorgeous. 3 of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Wow, are you stable? Wow, are you loving who you are now, yeah? Finally, you understand what works in your circumference and what doesn't, what brings you joy and what doesn't, what love is to you and what isn't, where your inner child needs to be nourished most, yeah? Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. It shows me that you're powerful. It shows me that you're switched on. It shows me that you've been doing the inner work, yeah? Show me your body of work and I'll show you who you are. And I'll show you who you're not as well, yeah? You're someone who's got a body of work, and that's hot. That's powerful. Not a lot of people have a body of work. Yeah? I can look at you and your creations and your life, and I can see who you are. Anyone can claim to be whoever they want to be online, and you can have fucking billions, trillions of followers. Yeah? Big boy numbers. It don't mean shit. If on the surface you're just presenting as this, we want to see who you are, the collective of you, the journey of you, the ascension of you, right? Through your hard work and graft, yeah? Not just a viral moment or a speech or a commercialized piece of content. More about you purposefully, what you've been building, what you've been doing for humanity, what your religion is, what your faith is, what you stand on. Who are you? Why are you here? Yeah? What makes you you, right? Back of the mind, Queen of Cups again. That's gorgeous, yeah. Front of the mind, Ace of Pentacles. Once again, I want to scream, there's someone on your mind, but once again, I just want to talk about you. And I feel like this just opens up the opportunity for you in life and love. And I think whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. And I think the past for you, the Sun, the future, the Empress, yeah. And over here, your talents, yeah? Your inner resources. Queen of Swords. Ace of Swords out next. Star out. And the 6 of Cups. You're going back. You're going back to your happiest place. I'm getting Bill and Ted in my head. I'm getting back to the future in my head. interesting that we are really cycling around the noughties and the 90s and the 80s with all of this really nice era, 70s coming in as well, a real 60s, okay, 40s, 50s. Guys, I'm not dissing anybody, you're all welcome here, right? But the truth of the matter is I'm getting such a shift in energy, and I say 40s, right, because I'm talking about your ancestry too and your parents, yeah, and that lineage and where you've come from and what you've inherited and what you've grown up seeing and grown up doing and what you've watched, because some of us have watched movies from the 40s and they've impacted our lives. From the 40s, maybe the 50s, right? But the classic black and whites, the classic Marilyn Monroe's, the classic movies from back in the day, some of them are amazing. Some of the most amazing stuff on alien and space and galactic are really old shit. 50s, 52. I like a lot of movies from the 50s. 52, 53. Key window of time for me. And I'm 37. I'm born in 88. But for some reason, I always resonate and get a little bit obsessive sometimes with just diving into movies from the 50s. I love them. Especially musicals. I also am a massive fan of the classic Calamity Jane movie with Doris Day. It's one of my favourite movies of all time. Because it's my mum's favourite movie of all time. And my mum would always make me just sit on the sofa and cuddle her, and we would together watch it and sing every single song from Doris Day. It's absolutely her favourite movie. So that's what's coming to me, is it's those kind of memories and the journeys that we go on. And now I'm an adult, I have Calamity Jane spirit. And when I look back at my relationship with my mum, which isn't the healthiest, because I'm just independent on my own now, no real issues there, but it's distant and separate, and I'm a big woman living my life and she's living hers. But in memory, and what makes me have a lot of peace in that relationship, and a lot of healing comes in through this ideology, is my mum is very, very Calamity Jane. And I'm an adult living in this era at 37, and I've had my own Calamity Jane struggles. Yet my mum was born in the 60s. So imagine the struggle of her Calamity Jane story. And she is the leading calamity. The leading calamity. You know? So I've inherited calamity. And boy, is it fucking hard to be a calamity in this world. Right? So I have so much respect and admiration for her. But it doesn't take away the trauma and the childhood abuse and the bullshit that we all go through. So once again, the Queen of Swords that you present with here makes me want to have that conversation with you, and we look back at our lineage and what we've been through, and we find the positive that we can take away from that, and the shit that fucked up our inner child, and understanding that we're breaking the curse for our lineage, but we're moving through it. Yeah? Well done, guys. I'm really, really impressed with you, and I'm grateful that you took me on that journey just now, because I needed that. I needed a minute just to dive into that sense of the mind. So do that for you, okay? If you haven't dived into her 7D Consciousness channel, which is one of my many channels featured at the top of this channel, do. Shamanic frequencies over there, alternative healing therapies over there, really unique niche stuff. We're diving into a series of Dear Divine Masculine, Dear Divine Feminine, Dear Weirdo, Dear Crybaby, Dear Toxic, Dear Earth Angel, Dear Empath, and they're channeled messages from the divine just coming through, dealing with what the fuck we've been going on, unlocking that inner child. A lot of inner child therapies over there as well, more coming out. Fun, silly, wacky things where you can just let go and be silly, you haven't got to be perfect, with things with a little bit more effort as well. Tarot musicals also available at Hermit HQ, and a lot more stuff is coming, okay? So dive in, because I really see a new beginning with the Empress for you in the future. That's the immediate future. But you know what's unlocking your Empress energy, male or female, this new beginning for you, and this beautiful connection, whether you are the male or female in this, with the Queen of Pentacles here and the Queen of Cups here, there's a immersive reality. Sounds silly to say it, but it flew out my mouth before I could catch it. An immersive reality, immersion, integration. You're taking your emotional side of self, and you're taking your coins and pentacles, and you're merging them into one. You're becoming so enlightened. You're becoming so beautiful. You're becoming so powerful. And with that, with coming out with the Three of Cups underneath it, that's your inner child. Your inner child is driving you. And the front of the mind is the Ace of Pentacles. Materiality is coming through. And the Sun, because you had joy in your recent past. Something in your recent past activated you. It's like that vision of seeing your husband or wife before they arrive. Do you get what I mean? It sounds a little bit cheesy and cliche and not what I would like to say, but I have to be honest. Like, sometimes I do these readings and I feel annoyed that I'm saying what I'm saying, but I have to say what the truth is. And everyone thinks that tarot readers are really, really optimistic and we're these kind of really lovely and light, positive people all the time, but I'm not. And some of us are sinister and some of us are bitches and moody cows. Do you get what I mean? We're not perfect all the time. So even when I read for you, I hope you understand that it is a challenge for me to dive into these realms and have these kind of lighter conversations as well. Sometimes it's easier to be in the dark and have darker conversations. I can go dark night of the soul all day with a viewer. I can go toxic, masculine and feminine all day. When the light comes out and it starts screaming all this beautiful effervescent stuff and it's flowing and it's frothing and it's beautiful and it's bubbling and it's amazing, I'm like, oh, really? How real is this? Do you get what I mean? So even we're sinister, right? Like in my mind, I get every now and then I'll have a joke. This is the first time I think I've said it this year. It's like that spinster energy spins up. If you're a woman, right, and you're in your 60s, I'm 37. I could be a spinster sometimes. I act like I'm 64, is what I always say. But sometimes, masculine or feminine, we have our little spinster days. If you've been alone for a really long time and celibate for a really long time and not been able to make that inner child love connection that you really wanted, you do get a little bit like, fuck this, right? Whatever. No, that's not going to happen. No, there is no divine masculine. No, there is no divine feminine. That's bollocks. No, this person definitely isn't for me. Do you get what I mean? And you live in that reality. And you own it. And you just push people away. And you're really reluctant to get into it with anybody else. But it's here. It's like the joy from the past is undeniable. Undeniable. And it's a gift. The sun is Ra. The sun is that yin energy. The sun is a gift from God. And you were gifted a little while ago with whatever you went through, and I hope you know that. I hope you see that, and I hope you feel that. Something shifted your solar plexus chakra, and it gave you a new lease of life, and it really revitalized your purity. So you come from a place in life, right, where we spoke about where you came from, where there was a lack of purity in your environment, yeah? That's shifted for you now. Really, really, I keep getting the vision of Kate Moss in my head. Takes me back to the Kate Moss era again. I'm going to sum up the reading because we are going on now, guys. But sometimes we think behaviours are normal and okay and they're not. And in the past, you went through an era with the Kate Moss era. Like Kate Moss, pissed drunk all the time, falling out of clubs. Amy Winehouse injecting heroin in her toes, always wasted and gone. And Jersey Shore, everyone spiralling out and pissed all night and day. I grew up with all of that in my circumference during my 20s, yeah? And all I did was go out and be pissed and high all the time. That was my life, yeah? That was my coping mechanism as well. Like, after work, on the weekends, the moment that Friday hit, Friday 5 p.m, I would be pissed, lit, drunk and high from fucking 6 p.m. on a Friday night all the way until, well, I'll be hungover Sunday. Period. Wasted all Friday, wasted all Saturday, hungover all fucking Sunday, work on a Monday. That was my life in cycling, and I was falling in and out of clubs like Kate Moss. Wasn't doing heroin in toes, but I was a sloppy fucking drunk, high as a kite on marijuana, with my beehive hairstyle in and out of the place. Because that's what I grew up. Amy Winehouse came from Southgate, used to go to the pub in Southgate, used to be all around those kind of areas, in clubs, partying in Camden. Like, you become the product of your environment. I'm giving that example because we already said you was big pimping in the streets, you know. So we do things, and now I look back, I'm like, I can't believe that was my life, and I can't believe I thought that was normal. I worked in childcare. I looked after kids from 8 to 6. But when Friday hit, I was an absolute pisshead. Turn up. That's the only way I could balance out my life, because imagine every single day, good morning, Mum, good morning, Dad, come on in, hang up your bags and coats, it's breakfast time, come and sit down for breakfast, circle time, story time, wind the bobbin up, pull, like, that was my life. Nappy time, wee time, come on, children, come on. Like, and the polarity of it is like, yeah, I need to get fucking wrecked when I leave here. Because this fucking ego, like this alter ego of me of code switching and being this lovely Mary Poppins all fucking day isn't cutting it. Do you get what I mean? So it's the reality that we're in and the life that we have to take on to really, really find ourselves. And we were young. We were going through it. We had no choice. We were living our lives, right? I'm completely different now. Thank God. So are you. You found your way. But you're going back to a window of time where it's lighter and it's fun and it's bubbly and you might not be stumbling out of clubs and big pimping with your rims chain on and a pimp stick and a spliff in your mouth, but you're going to toe the line between the two, right? You're going to go back to that happy-ish place. And the wedding vision I'm getting is just coming back to me on the outro, okay? I see a massive tree. I've had this vision before, many, many moons ago, right? I'm seeing a tree. Now, I'm seeing it in the image, but now it's branching out to some visions I've seen in the past. And it's actually a forest or some kind of land. And it's quite an ancient oak tree. And the oak tree is covered with ribbons and streamers. And I don't know if there's lights on it, but there's all of these hanging pieces, so it's a little bit artificial, or kind of like looks like artificial flowers, a combination of real flowers. Either way, those flowers on the tree are not part of that tree, but someone's completely designed that tree with pinks and yellows and greens and purples and oranges and all of these kind of alternative colors, and everything's hanging off the tree, and it's a massive ceremony, yeah. And then I see this woman in this pink dress, and I see snow or like autumn leaves blowing, and I don't know why, I'm just being drawn to it, and I see the clouds and the beauty. Like, is there a childhood vision that stands out to you in relation to that? In relation to your happiest moment or your childhood moment or something really purposeful for you? Because now I'm also getting drawn to the fact that I used to talk to Care Bears all day. I was obsessed with watching Care Bears, and I used to talk to Care Bears all day. That's what helped my inner child stay active, and that's what's allowed me to have a wild imagination now, and probably that's kept my clairvoyance alive and active to this day. Because in my room, as a child growing up, I had the biggest room in the house because I'm a crazy girl who is on the spectrum, who needs to go wild sometimes. But in my room I had interesting pinstripes, colourful pastel print stripes going up the wall all the way around the room. Then I had a border of Care Bears going around it, and I would name all the Care Bears and give them different colours. And when I was just playing with my Barbies or watching videos and putting videos into the TV video combi, right, and playing with my random walkie-talkies and oven set and all the other creepy shit I did, I would talk to the Care Bears all the time. I would have big boy conversations with the Care Bears, and the Care Bears would actually, in my vision, come out of the wall and just float around in the environment. Yeah? We all are gifted clairvoyant and have spiritual gifts and abilities from childhood. If we don't nourish them and we're not allowed to play with them or engage with them, and we're told that that's imaginary, that's not true, we can't do that, those gifts fade away. For me, I was hermetic, and a lot for my family to deal with, I guess. There's many questions I don't have the answers to. But I spent a lot of time alone. Me and the Care Bears, playing imaginatively with the Barbies and random other stuff. Not only that, I used to use the wardrobe in my room, and I always tell this story as a key point in memory of why I do what the fuck I do today. Massive wardrobes that were oak, glossy, took up quite a section of the room, floor to ceiling, shiny. I would use pens and just write all over it. And before any time my mum was coming or anyone was walking up the stairs near my door, I would quickly grab like my pajamas or whatever I could find, my underwear, and quickly wipe all of the stuff off the gloss of the wardrobe. I was so horrified and worried that someone was going to see me and all my symbols on the wardrobe. Now it makes me like stop in my tracks and freaks me out a little bit, because who I've become is that person, yeah? Because it's me acting like Einstein and doing fucking equation and formula on the mirror. I mean, on the wardrobe. Why would I know that? Why would I do that? And why would I fantasize about that? That was like a secret fetish for me. I'm there like doing, and the symbols are not making sense. I don't know what they mean, but I know it's secret and I can't tell anyone. And I just have to do it. I have to do it. It's right. And I'm talking to myself in Einstein vibration, like, well, A is da 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 da. Well, this goes here. Okay, class. Like, that's how I'm talking. No weird of a lie. No weird of a lie. No word of a lie. How weird is that? I don't know why I'm telling you all of these things either, guys. It feels like it's important for me to go to those places with you in conversation today to let you know that you can go there in conversation too. Because I'm telling you that those examples I've just given you, they relate to you. What are your examples? What was that for you? What were the secrets that you kept from your mum and dad? What was that inner child fetish? Fetish is probably the worst word to use in context to this. But put the right word in the comments. Someone pull up the encyclopedia and find the right fucking term. Yeah? That was a lot, guys. I love you guys. I'm going to leave it there because we just went off on a tangent. 35 on this one. I'll be back soon with more. Love and light. Go and look in the description. There's stuff everywhere. Go and subscribe to all the other channels. There's stuff over there too. Love and light.